Welcome back. So, welcome back to Best and Worst, and this is the Best and Worst of February 2017. And unlike in January, where we only saw 2 movies that were legitimately released in January, I actually saw 4 movies in February. It's the 27th, but I don't plan on seeing a movie tomorrow. I don't plan to, but if I do, I have a feeling it might be Lego Batman, in which case I might have to readjust this list video. But frankly, even if I do, I'm probably not going to adjust the video. Point being, so I saw 4 movies this month. I can say 50% of them were pretty good. The other 50% were. There's a reason February and January have been considered dumping ground months for movies, the toilet bowl month where the shit goes. That said, they are changing some things up with that. I mean, February is actually, like I said, I saw 2 good movies in February, and I know I didn't see Lego Batman. I haven't gotten to see Lego Batman yet. I'll probably hopefully get around to that. Hey, you'll pop up. And that's a third good movie I've heard. But let's call it what it is. February's still not a great month for movies. It's got its better outlier. Like Deadpool set the trend that good movies can come out in February. So basically, what was the best movie of February 2017 for me? Well, I guess that's how you define best. Because if I'm talking about the overall quality of the film, did I enjoy it? Is the writing good? Is the direction good? Is whatever plot twist happened there surprising or good? Then I gotta go with Get Out. Get Out would be the best movie of February. It was extremely well written. It was both psychologically tense, sickening, unsettling, but hilarious at the same time. That's what you get when Jordan Peele's writing on it, who's not just a comedian, but apparently a big fan of horror movies. Hold on, pop up. Let me get the light out of your eye. There you go. I'll turn your light off in a little bit, baby. So yeah, when you get Jordan Peele, who's actually a lover of horror movies as well as a comedian, and it was a really good. It was not only was it just a good movie, it was a good study of race relations, cultural differences, racism, and reverse racism. Which, believe it or not, reverse racism is essentially, instead of being racist out of hate, calling someone the N-word or calling an Asian person the C word. I'm not going to use that language. Not unless I'm quoting a movie quote like Blazing Saddles. I have no reason to use that language in my actual life, because it's hateful and disgusting language. But point being, instead of calling that, it's when you just say, "Hey, hug me, my man." How long has this thing been going on? What about Obama in the third term? Just saying, best president of my lifetime. Yep. That's reverse racism. And yeah, that movie's got that in spades. So, and then culture. And I actually watched a video or a review earlier today from someone who recently subscribed and asked me to do so. And it was actually he actually made some really good points. I actually really enjoyed the video. While I got him here, let me get that back up so I can give these guys a proper shout out. Hold on. Because they did me a kindness by subscribing, and I subscribed back, and yeah, they're just getting started. Is it Epic Entertainment Critics? I believe that's them. Yep, that's them. So the Epic Entertainment Critics. Yeah, I actually liked your video. You made some good comments on that too, especially about race relation, reverse racism, more or less, and cultural or racial envy. Yeah, racial envy, and that's it's a well done movie in that regard. So in terms of like the overall making of the film from beginning to end, how it's structured, all that in terms of the flow and everything, yeah, I would say Get Out was the best movie of February. That said, I would honestly say though my most enjoyable time at the movies so far this year, as well as this month, was going to see John Wick Chapter 2. So while I think Get Out is overall the best movie in terms of filmmaking, all that, in terms of how it balanced its structure and all that. First off, horror's not my genre, so for me to give it that kind of rating, yeah, it speaks pretty high. But John Wick is Deadpool set the trend that you can put a hard R-rated action movie in February and it's gonna just kill. As long as it's written well enough, it's structured well enough, and it's just got a good tone, likability, characters you enjoy, and it shows that Keanu Reeves has still got it, baby. I mean, Keanu is 52. the man hasn't like aged. He actually made a good quote. I read something that he made a good quote on. It's like, no, I've been aging. I've just been doing it better lately, or I just started doing it better. Um, no, I mean, it did what is nearly impossible for movies to do, and that's first off, build on the sequel and be almost, if not as good as the original, maybe even a little better. I think I like the first one more because the story is just simpler and more structured, but it's just expanded on the lore and the mythos of this world, and yeah, that that's really something to take into consideration when you think about these movies. And for that to do that with an action movie, especially when John Wick was made on like I think 22 million's made like 89 million, which is good, which means it earned its sequel. This one's made on about 40 million, the new one. It currently stands at about 125. Yeah, it's doing well, and it's only in its third week, so it's going to be sticking around for at least a couple more weeks. I do believe it'll close out somewhere in the 150 to 175 range when it's all said and done. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll make less. Maybe it'll make more. I feel confident at least a minimum of 150. But yeah, if you're going to say what I think is the best movie in terms of quality, in terms of again, in terms of filmmaking, I'd say I'd give it to Get Out. But then again, you also got to factor in like the choreography and everything for John Wick. So I mean, my favorite film of February so far is John Wick. So what's the best film of February? I'm gonna go with John Wick, honestly, because I've seen that movie 3 times. Seen it by myself, saw it with and a couple friends. So yeah, it's a fun octane ride, but that's no blight on Get Out. Get Out is great. So that's the best of February. I started out the month. Me and Mark both started out the month, and you can see a review with the worst of February. And it's gonna come as a shock to you. But 50 Shades Darker was not the worst of February. It's bad. It's terrible. It had a good soundtrack. While they still handled it terribly, they handled the relationship between them better in this movie, than they did in the first movie. And I think they handled the whole S&M slave master relationship at least a little better in the second one. It's still done terribly, but it's Rings. Rings was one of the most miserable experiences I've had in the theater this year. Because with Resident Evil Final Chapter, it was bad, but at least I got some good action out of good action. I got some decent action. I got a couple characters I enjoyed and all that. It just wasn't my thing, but it was what it was. I could live with it. With Rings, not only is it not scary, not only is the only good thing Vincent D'Onofrio, and he's only in there for maybe 20 minutes when he actually compile all his time on screen. It's boring. It's drab. It drags on even though it's like only an hour and a half. And then like the twist, it's like there's no good twist in it. It's just there's so many questions that don't make sense, even in the lore of the Ring universe. So it was just terrible. It was one of the worst experiences I've had, and not like it. Because here's the thing with 50 Shades Darker, I could at least laugh at how bad the movie is. I couldn't even laugh at how bad Rings was. Me and Mark were just, and we were timing the jump scares and just. I was like taking my glasses off, point, just going, as like the plot, like the audience myth is like, okay, no, this is what happened. Like, why? No, this is bad. No. So if you had to ask me, yeah, 50 Shades is 50 Shades. It's always gonna be bad to me. Rings was worse. Honestly, Rings was the worst movie. It actually had overall better performance. Like Vincent D'Onofrio's good. The guy from The Big Bang Theory's in there. He's pretty good in there. Not Sheldon, the main guy who's married to Katie or Kaylee Cuoco, the blonde. I don't watch this show. Galecki, that's his name. Galecki's his last name. Yeah, him. He's good. Other than that, the lead actress is terrible. The boyfriend, oh god, everyone's just sucks in that movie. Anyway, so that's my best and worst of February 2017. What will March give me? at least 3 really good movies, I'd say, with Logan, Kong Skull Island, Beauty and the Beast. Plus, Power Rangers doesn't look terrible. I want to see Life. And Ghost in the Shell comes out as well. So March is a stacked month. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you like us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who wins, what if, Star Wars, superhero, magic, anything I do on the channel, put it in the comments below. Let me know. I'll do a review of it at some point. Excuse me. I will have a review up at some point tomorrow for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Trailer 3. And this week's Who Would Win, it's actually the Wednesday start of March, which would be my Bleach Who Wins. And I got a request from someone, and I'm going to honor that request because luckily it fits into that theme of Bleach Who Wins. This week's Who Will Win, I'll give the shout out to the person later on. This week's Who Will Win will be Sosuke Aizen versus Madara Uchiha. Yeah, get ready for that one, folks, because this is going to be a doozy. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks next time.